Morning. Are you coming in then?
Good morning, and what a show we got lined up for you today. Today we're in for a real treat, trust me, because we've got the brilliant Beverley Knight will be at the house. Can't wait for that. And my old mate James Tanner will be dropping by. I can't wait for that one. He's bringing a delicious piece of pork belly with him, and it's Diwali tomorrow. So Dipna Anand will be here. Can't wait for that one. She'll be treating her family favourite recipes. And don't miss this week's Little Masterclass when we've got everything you want to know about cures, pickles and brides. And that's not all, because I'm joined again by a good mate of mine who's brought the traditional Spanish cooking to the streets of London, where there's many incredible restaurants all over the globe as well. It's Mr. Jose Pizarro.
Hey, my friend.
Good to have you on the house. Good to have you on the show.
It's always lovely to be here.
Exactly. And you're very happy because I know you love your cheese as well. We're going to get that into it in a minute. But you're going to be cooking for us. We haven't got much money left in the budget.
Okay.
Because you've taken it all. What are you going to be doing?
I'm doing the most incredible tarbor from Cornwall.
Yeah.
With some vegetables, and then I'm gonna saute some mushrooms.
Okay.
With black pudding.
Right. Okay.
And roast it in the oven.
Mushrooms and black. Oh, right.
I think the combination is just lovely.
You kindly showed me areas of Spain that I've never seen before, and we've showed that to the viewers over the last few months as well. Spain is just incredible, I've got to say. What an amazing country.
And the thing about your show is showing not just the typical Spain that everyone knows. You know? You did absolutely incredible.
Well, no, because you think of the cost as everybody. We're all creatures of habit. We all go to the same places. You know, you're fortunate to go to the same house that you've got down in Cadiz, which is beautiful.
We have a good time.
You know, you go east, you go west in Spain as well. You go north, particularly. What a difference between the northern east and northern west part.
It's all about the climate. You know, the north is very rainy, it's cold, it's beautiful, not always raining. And then the south, when everyone want to be outside, everyone want to have a good time, really.
Well, talking of climate, because we're going to introduce you to, because you've spotted this cheese over here. We're going to go a little bit further north in the UK, a little bit further northern Spain for this as well. But I'm going to introduce you to the people who make this cheese, because I'm going to do this amazing little cheeseburger. So the first thing you're going to get on is our actually burgers. I'm going to get those cooking first of all. So I've just got some normal minced beef. The thing is with this, really, people are on about the fat content, so you want that sort of decent little bit of fat content. Not too much, otherwise it's just going to set fire to everything. So nice little bit of lean mince. If you want to put a little bit more fat in there, you can do. Some salt and a good pinch of salt. That's the key to it. Salt, pepper. I'm going to serve this with a nice little bit of almost an instant chutney, but it's a chutney done in onion rings and onion slices, so it's a different way of doing this sort of chutney. And then I've got some clotted cream buns over here.
Oh, nice.
So these are made out of clotted cream. They're just amazing. And then all I'm going to serve it with is with this amazing cheese, some caramelised onions and that kind of stuff. So we just mix this together, and I'm going to get this burger on the go first of all. So give it a good mix around, and then I'm going to pop the burgers straight on the barbecue. A little bit of oil, and they go on there. Because I know you've got your eye on this cheese over here, so why don't we go there straight away?
I've been already picking them.
Because you mentioned northern Spain being cold. We're going to go a little bit further north than that as well. So to find out more about where this amazing cheese comes from and what I'm going to use for my little bit of cheeseburgers over here, we're going to head up to Northumberland to speak to Neil and Jackie Maxwell from Doddington's Cheese. Now, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, James.
It's great to speak to you again, because we spoke many years ago as well. The produce that you've got is amazing. It looks as if you've expanded a little bit from what I see behind me. so tell everybody where you are then, where you are up that neck of the woods.
Well, we're pretty much as far as you can go in England. We're near a little place called Wooler, near Berwick-upon-Tweed or Bamborough. Sometimes people have heard of our beautiful beaches in Northumberland. So right at the very top.
It is. Well, you've got a house on the beach as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Northumberland. It also surprised me when I went up there. You know, I was brought up in Yorkshire as well. We never really holidayed up that way. We always went sort of Blackpool way. But the beaches are incredible. The scenery is incredible when you get up there as well. But the family farm. So, which one of you? Where was the family? Where's the family connection between the two of you? The family farm.
Well, other than the fact we're obviously married, my grandfather came here in 1944, and he came from the west of Scotland. And when my father came, he put cows on in 1950, started to milk, and we started to make cheese in the early 90s as a point of interest because we just loved doing it. And 30 odd years on, here we are still manufacturing mainly raw milk cheeses and employing a number of people and making the products that you've got there in front of you.
Now, the milk business, there's a lot been said about the milk business over the years. It's getting tougher and tougher. So it's one thing that you had to do it to diversify, but you wanted to do it anyway.
It's just such an interesting subject, cheese. It's a cultural thing, I think, and making raw milk cheeses is it's a labour of love in many ways. I don't know if you do it necessarily for profit, but you do it because you enjoy the creativity of doing what you do. And we've got crossbred cows that are grazing even now outside, and they produce milk that's ideal for making the great cheeses that we do, and it's very similar to the cheeses they make in France and Italy and Spain, and we hope that you enjoy the cheeses that you have there.
Well, we certainly do. It's not just me that's enjoying it as well. It's everybody around the UK now because, like I said, when I first met you guys, I don't think you were doing this many different types of cheeses as well when I first met you, but all award-winning cheeses, amazing. But they've all got a link. All the names that you've got in here, tell us about the link that links them all together.
Well, we tend to have, cheeses of character to a certain extent. So we have a cheese called Admiral Collingwood after a local gentleman. We have Darling Blue, named after Grace Darling, again, a local heroine. Also a link to the area. So Doddington, as you can imagine, is where we're from. That's our name of place sort of thing. So we try and promote our locality because we're very proud of where these come and link the cheeses to the grass that the cows are eating, really. So
well,
it's
you said about the grass. I wanted to talk to you about what breed of cattle are they first, but a lot of people don't realise it's the pasture that is the key to this, isn't it? Really,
absolutely.
That's where it all starts.
100%.
What breed of cattle have you got first of all?
Well, the cows are generally all crossbred cows. They're Ayrshires and Friesians and Montbéliards, and we also have some Fleckvies as well. But we find that crossbred cattle are a lot healthier. They don't produce as much milk, but they're much easier to manage, and they're ideal for grazing grass.
And it is the grass, really.
It's the grass, it is. I mean, we grow a lot of multi-species lays and things, grass with lots of different herbs and flowers in, and I think that actually imparts flavours in that standard perennial ryegrass only doesn't do. So a richness of diet is critical to it, and I think the raw milk side of it also gives flavours that pasteurised milk will never do.
Because this is the key. The key to it. You mentioned pasture. I remember farming up in that neck of the woods as well. When you farm and the ploughs going across the field, there used to be seagulls, there used to be birds collecting all the bits from the field as well. That's sadly dying out because what you're trying to do is put all like the clovers back into the grass, so then that gets consumed. It adds so much to the end product, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, actually, whenever we plough up here, we don't plough as much as we used to, but whenever we do, the seagulls still follow the plough.
Yeah.
So there is an inherent health in the soil as a result of that. But just going back to what Jackie was saying before, there we name our cheeses after local heroes, and Admiral Collingwood was Nelson's right-hand man at the Battle of Trafalgar, and we have a cheese obviously named after him, which is washed in Newcastle brown ale, which is imparts certain characters and things to it.
Well, we're gonna taste a little bit of it now. So there you go. Because Jose can't wait any longer.
He's speaking all of them.
He's going to dive into this. So, all your cheeses are different. So explain to us how you make this one, because flavour is amazing. But how do you make this one?
Well, Admiral Collingwood is it's what, as I say, it's a semi-hard cheese which is washed in Newcastle brown several times to allow certain kinds of bacteria to develop on the surface of the cheese to give it that kind of
pungent.
That lovely pungent aromatic sort of flavour and colour. You get a sort of an orangey colour to that.
This is one of the cheeses that the flavour really develops if you eat it at room temperature. You should never take a cheese straight out the fridge. You want to let the flavour the cheese come to room temperature, and then the flavour gets to be at its best. And I think the Admiral Collingwood particularly really benefits from that.
Right, we could talk about all the selection of cheese over here, but it'll take me 10 minutes to go through all this sort of stuff as well. But you've got smoked, You've got some blue cheese over here. Which one would you recommend Jose taste next then? Because we're going to taste a couple of these to go with our little burgers. Which one next?
Cuddy's Cave, I would say, which is a young sort of Dale-style cheese, which is sort of citrusy and lemony and probably 3 to 5 months
this
old.
one's
Lovely
cake.
cheese.
Absolutely gorgeous.
This. So tell me how you make this one. So how long do you age the cheeses for? Tell me how long you
Well, they vary very much depending on the cheese. I mean, like the Darling Blue will be aged for 6 to 8 weeks. It's a pasteurized blue cheese, whereas the Cuddy's Cave that you're on at the moment, there will be 3 to 6 months generally, all the way through to the Berwick Edge and the Doddington, which can be 1 or 2 years old. The store we're standing in here at the moment, that we've got Doddington cheese in here that's 2.5 years old. So,
Wow.
and it's quite a feat to think that perishable product, in terms of milk, you can convert it with hardly anything other than a little bit of salt and a little bit of starter culture, and you can turn it into something that will sit and last and be a very edible and desirable product 2.5 years later.
Well, hopefully I'm doing this justice because I know you've got your eye on what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to recap what I've got on over here. So we've got our lettuce. I don't know why I'm doing 4 and you're about 500 miles away, but we've got in here. I've got my nice little. So all I've done is make a simple little chutney style thing, really, which is tomatoes I cook with. You start off with some sugar in the pan, and if you just put plain sugar in the pan, as in plain brown sugar, caramelize it, add a little bit of vinegar, you almost create this instant sort of tomato chutney with onion, with a few sultanas in there, and then you can just put that. So you get this sweet and sharpness from it as well, with the onions and everything else, with the sultanas and everything. So you take these onion pieces like that and you just lift them up. So you don't actually need to make your own chutney. You can just do it in a pan with a little sugar, a little bit of vinegar, like that. My burgers are looking pretty good over here. Hopefully I've done that justice over there. Just started to melt your nice little bit of cheese on there. And I've taken that, you can see, look at that, melted nicely on there and on there.
Yes, baby.
Happy with that?
More than happy.
So that's your nice little bit of burger. And then
Good
in
breakfast.
the pan over here, I've got some, it's all about layering up flavours, I think, in burgers and everything else. But I've got some beautiful caramelised onions that I call these fairground onions. You know, that's probably when I ended up going north of where you are, really, to the fairground. But you get the onions, which are quite, the caramelised, they've got a little bite to it as well. I love fairground onions. And we just take these, put them on the top. And hopefully I'm doing this justice, because
Looks amazing.
You're working incredibly hard over this, but I think people are going to love your cheese as well. I fell in love with it 8 years ago when we first met, but I think it's absolutely delicious. And we've got a board over here. We can then put one for me, one for Jose, one for you, and one for you. But you're a long way from this, but I'll pigeon post, we'll have to send you it. But look, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And there you have it.
Oh.
And I'm going to do this in stereotypical chef's terms, because whenever we make stuff like this, we go, how on earth are you supposed to eat it? And chefs go, I've made it, it's not my problem.
It's not my problem.
Exactly.
Found a way.
Yeah, find a way. It looks good. But there we have it. My version of a cheeseburger using your amazing cheese from up there.
Wow.
Hopefully I've done it justice.
Looks amazing, James. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you don't mind, I'm going to serve it how chefs serve it for you. I'm going to put it
The best way.
I'm going to put it on a tray for you. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is that all right for you, Chief?
It's our life, my friend.
Exactly. Well, I don't know how you follow a cheese starter with a burger for main course, but yeah, I don't know.
Look at these.
Yeah. So look at these. Look at these.
And now I need to find a way. Well, this is what I like. You know what I mean? To get that.
You've got a white shirt on. White. This is going to be.
I'm the only one I bring.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
see, I don't usually eat stuff on camera, but today's an exception.
My friend, we are good friends. If we get dirty, we will clean it. This is all about. Yes.
Right, Jose will be treating to his dish of turbot, and Chef Dipna Anand will be sharing some traditional recipes for Diwali for us a little bit later. But join us again after the break. We'll be joining another great recipe from the Saturday Morning Archives. I'll see you in a bit.
On the bum.
Welcome back. Now, Chef James Tanner will be dropping by the house very shortly, and I'll be serving up tapas for singer Beverley Knight in just a couple of minutes. But before that, loads of you have been getting in touch on email and social media with photographs and videos of dishes you've been cooking at home. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to just have a look at a few of them right now. So first up this week, a big well done goes to Dave Forbes from Aberdeen, who made moule mariniere with hand-cut chips and garlic mayo. You're in the right place for mussels right up there as well. Aberdeen, what amazing seafood you got in that neck of the woods. Love the pot as well. Good stuff there, Dave. One of my favourite dishes, that. And also, we've got a photograph from Richie Luckett, who's been working away in the kitchen preparing slow-cooked lamb shank. I remember cooking lamb shank for the first time in London. I kind of been about 16, 17. They were about 20p each. They're a bit different now. Inflation for you. There you go. A big thanks goes to Elizabeth Midgley, who shared this photograph of the sea bass with butter parsley sauce that she made. That looks stunning as well. Beautiful. I like the little shell as decoration. And finally, top marks this week goes to Angie, who made this bread and butter pudding. You know that that's going to be delicious. OK, it's time for another recipe now, and this week we're dipping into the archives and enjoying a spot of French bacon from the one and only Richard Burtonnet. Enjoy this.
Today I'm going to show you how to make brioche with caramelized apple and cavalos. It's a perfect afternoon tea treat with a bit of creme fraiche on the side. For this, we're going to make the brioche first. So I'm going to take my eggs and my milk and put all the liquid first in the bowl. This will stop the flour from stick at the bottom. Our flour goes on top. Then we put our sugar on one side. I'm taking my yeast and putting the flour and rub it together over the top, just like that. Our salt goes on one other side, and our butter onto the top. And then we put the mixer on now. We'll use the dough hook for this. You could do it by hand, but it's a bit more laborious. So when you use a mixer to mix your dough, the first 4 minutes are quite important. That's where you mix your ingredients together. So you make sure you got all your ingredients and the dough is well mixed before you go on second speed. Okay, my dough is done now. It's beautiful, light and silky. As the dough is coming out of the bowl, we put it on the table. Just give it a nice shine on the top. Scrape it a little bit. And you can see how light, if you look in here, how much air there is inside. It's beautiful, nice and light. And then we put it in the bowl to rest for about 45 minutes to 1 hour in a warm place, not hot place, just warm place. It's gorgeous, I'm hungry already. While our dough is resting, we're going to get our apples ready, so the caramelized apple. So first, we need to get some good eating apple, nice and sharp. That'd be great. So I'm going to dice my apple. There's something magical with butter, creme fraiche, and apple. Don't make them too small, just have some good chunks, big chunk, all different size, doesn't matter too much. Okay, to my favorite part now, we're going to cook the apple. So I got a nice big pan in here. We're going to get some heat, and the butter is going to go straight into the pan. You can hear the butter singing. When it stops singing, it's burning. So just before it stops singing, all the apple will go in. It's sizzling away. We're going to make sure all our apples are completely covered with butter. So it's tempting in your apple to keep stirring them around, but leave them get crispy underneath. A tiny bit of color, caramelized, before we put the sugar in. The apple are just ready now. They caramelize all the way around. We're going to add the sugar to the pan now. So make sure you sprinkle it everywhere. Again, you can use caster sugar, granulated sugar. It's absolutely fine. The smell is incredible already. And then now you stir everything really well. You can see now the caramel forming with the apple, all that juice all together, all that stickiness, gooiness, and now we're ready for the Calvados. Right, showtime. So Calvados, sitting there. Be very careful, it's going to flame. Yee. That's why we've got no hair left. Remind me of Brittany. And now the creme fraiche is going to go in to band everything together. And we stir it together. For me, it's like the secret ingredient to go between your apple, your Calvados, and your sugar. So you can see the caramel, the toffiness into it. Beautiful. And that's ready. That's going to cool down now. Voila. Okay, our dough has rested now for a good hour. And look at this. Double in size, beautifully, beautifully strong and ready to go. Okay, so let's do that brioche. Little flour on the table. And then with my scraper, I'm going to scrape the top of the brioche like so. And tip it over. So the top of the brioche is down. And the sticky side is up. Finally dust the top again and just press it down. You could use a rolling pin, but honestly, the dough is so soft and beautiful, you don't need to, don't be tempted to pull too hard or anything like that. Just work with your dough. There, it's fine. Then next, we're gonna put the apple on top and spray all your apples and all the toffee everywhere. Again, be gentle with it. Don't rush it. Just push everything in together. If you could smell it, it's so nice. You could just eat the apple just like that. So when it's all nice and even, I just roll it very gently, one first fold, and keep it square all the time, so you don't end up with like a little sausage on the side. Roll it, take your time, and keep it square all the way. And trap all this beautiful apple. And when it's all tucked in, you got a big, long, like a Swiss roll, a little bit. And when you curl it over itself like a snail. So start from here, curl, and pull a tiny bit on the same time, so you get a lot of curls. There, it's all together. Perfect, looks nice. Any flour, take it out, and then lift it into your tins. So we grease the tin with a bit of butter. This needs to proof for about 45 minutes to 1 hour again. So next time we see it, it'll be really, really big. Put some egg wash on top and finish it off with some sliced apple as well. Right, look at this now. It's ready to go. So there's some eggs in here, beaten with a bit of salt. So whole eggs and a bit of salt. So put a good dollop of egg everywhere. Be gentle, don't deflate it. And then we've got some very thinly sliced apple in here. Put them on the top like a little crown. So you can use a small mandolin to finely slice your apple. There you go. And then on the side, you can put a tiny bit of sugar, little sugar nibs. You can buy them anywhere now. There we go. 35-40 minutes in the oven at 190. See you later. Wow, look at this. It's still warm from the oven. The final touch now is a tiny, tiny bit of icing sugar, just to finish it off. You could put glaze, but look at that. Perfect. There you have it. My beautiful brioche with caramelized apple and Calvados. I just can't wait now for it to cool down so I can tuck it.
That fella is a genius. Now, the very talented Jose Pizarro will be sharing a stunning recipe for oven-roasted or wood-roasted turbot. And I'll be joining a Diwali feast with Dipna Anand and her dad a little bit later. But we'll see you back here in a few minutes when we're chatting to singer Beverley Knight over some brilliant little tapas dishes. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Now we're giving you a masterclass in cures, pickles and brines later, and Chef James Tanner will be laying on a dish of pork belly. That's coming up next. But first, I'm glad she's here, because this is the queen of British soul music, who has conquered the charts in the West End stage with her amazing, incredible voice. It's the fabulous Beverley Knight.
What an intro!
Fabulous, fabulous. And I had lived that as well, but I meant it as well, because I mean, we're going to talk about food. Well, you love tapas as well. You love your food.
I do.
So I'm going to do a selection of different tapas.
Heaven.
So before we do anything, I'm going to get these prawns on the go.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the prawns. Instead of just putting the raw garlic in, I use this garlic. I cook the garlic beforehand. And if you squeeze the garlic like that, you end up with
Nice
this...
and soft.
You end up with it being soft, and because you're not going to cook these sort of prawns for too long. They're only going to take 3 or 4 minutes to cook in here. And we're just going to take this garlic. It's less strong, I think. And this for this, with a little bit of the prawns over the top and some lemon rind, lemon rind as well that goes with it. All that's going to go in, and we're going to cook that with some nice little olive oil in our little oven as well. So, first of all, where do I even begin on your career?
It's a long one.
Do you mind me saying you're celebrating 50? You're celebrating 50 years old, a milestone in your life, milestone in your career. I read recently you said you feel like you pinch yourself that you can't believe you're still doing it.
Honestly, this is not an easy industry. And just to have a career that has lasted, you know, almost 30 years, for me, is a miracle. I'm just so grateful for it,
But
to
do
be
you know
honest.
what that is?
Yeah.
It's you and your voice, technically. Because, I mean, there is something unique about your voice. I remember seeing you for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was Carfest, and we go, what on earth is this voice? And it's just, you're off stage. Music has been in your blood, hasn't it? If you had to have done it.
Yeah.
As a family.
It was like there was no option.
Right.
Because I was born, like, singing, virtually.
Right.
My mum always said I was singing before I was talking, before I was forming words properly. You'd always find me entertaining everyone and no one. I didn't care. I just wanted to sing. And that's been me for my whole life.
Because your career, you've been spotted by some unbelievable people as well. I mean, I've got to mention this Prince story. Because
Oh, my God,
you were
yeah.
a massive fan of Prince.
Always have been.
He was a massive fan of yours.
I know.
How old were you at that particular time?
When I met Prince, so it was 24 years ago. It was,
Right.
it was the year 1999. That was when I first met him. And then I actually got to sing and be in his realm properly in the year 2007.
But tell me how this happened, because there's an amazing story of you going... Was it the Oscars?
Yeah,
Was it?
so...
This is... If you think a story is cool, you're about to be top trumped. This is cool.
This was...
And we don't know I'm your name dropping, but right, fire away. Prince then phones you up.
Right, so I get this phone call. I'm not well, but I get this phone call on a miserable February saying, yes, I'm from Prince's office. He wants you to come to LA this weekend. Well, I recovered very quickly, funnily enough.
Right.
Got myself on the plane, got to LA, check into the hotel. You know, no idea why I'm there. But as I'm looking around the hotel, I'm like, the great and good of Hollywood are there. I'm like, oh, God, is this the usual?
Yeah.
And it took me a minute for the penny to drop. It's the Oscars day. Long story short, I get this other phone call. Prince wants you to be ready in an hour, you know. So, get myself ready. We go out. This limo turns up, picks me up, this great big limo. Takes me to this
If you think this is good so
location.
far, you ain't had nothing yet. It's worthwhile me not talking about mushrooms over this, but go on.
So I turn up, just me, in this limo. I turn up at this place and, you know, security walks me into this place. And I know it's Prince's house because the purple glow from the front door is quite evident. We go in the door and he's made such a fuss of me. I still don't know why I'm there, but he's made such a fuss of me and he's introducing me to this one and that one and he's feeding me like you are now. Again, long story short, he says, yeah, we'll be on stage in about 20 minutes. I'm like, on stage? Okay, right.
Yeah.
Get on stage and basically the great and good of Hollywood, some of whom have just won Oscars, have still got their statues in their hand, the Coen brothers and Javier Bardem, they're there. And there's me, little me, Prince up front, you know, the band, and we launch into a whole set of music. The set list is there, but he doesn't pay any attention to it. And the postscript is, while this is going on, and I finish my bit, and I'm like, is this really happening?
You couldn't write this, but this is worthwhile listening to for the end bit.
The end bit. So the crowd starts to part like the Red Sea, and I'm singing along, and I'm singing, but I'm kind of looking, and I see someone being led through the crowd, and I'm like, no, it cannot be. This is surreal already. This cannot be happening. Stevie Wonder joins us on stage. He gets up. He's been led to the keyboards, which are on my left. I'm kind of right. Prince is centre. And then we launch into a whole Stevie Wonder set.
That deserves a round of applause, doesn't it? That is some story. See, I was going to tell that story, but it's much better coming from you as well. But, you know, I mean, I'm just going to recap over this. We've got our little anchovy boccheronis there. I just made some little bit of lemon. I don't know how you come from that story to these, really. So you got some lemon, a bit of garlic, a little bit of parsley, olive oil, lemon juice. The peas I've just cooked, just with a little bit of salt over the top. The prawns are not far off. I'm just going to mix this together with a little bit of olive oil and sherry vinegar. Now, we're about to listen to your new track off your new album.
Yes.
Because you're celebrating, like I said, a milestone in your life. This is something new for you. I listened to this last night. This is not the Beverley Knight that we're used to. I think it's amazing, by the way.
Thank you,
And we're about to
James.
listen to it, because tell us where this idea comes from then.
So, we were all in lockdown. It was all very miserable. I wanted to do an album, but, you know, not in that lockdown kind of state of mind where everything's depressed and that. I knew that when I got out of lockdown, I'd have lots of projects that would kind of roll round to this year, and that would take me to my 50th. And I thought, I am going to celebrate my 50th and life itself and the fact that we've made it through this crazy pandemic business with an album and a tour, and I'm going to call it, my husband's idea, the 5th chapter. I know it's technically the 6th, but the 5th chapter of my career and my life, and I think it's joyful to be this age.
I think it's joyful. I think it's brilliant as well.
Thank
Together
you.
with the video. Just check this out.
Rhythm is the life, just hear it calling. Dancing till the clock stops turning time. Exploding through the windows, breaking down the walls, systematic. Rhythm is the life, just hear it calling. Dancing till the clock stops turning time. Exploding through the windows, breaking down the walls, systematic.
Thank you.
I told genius you are. You're genius. I come out with that as well. It was something. It's a curveball for you, but
It
just
is.
fits so well.
Thank you. I wanted to do something different, and you know, disco and post-disco stuff, and that kind of joyful music that makes people want to dance, makes people look at their lives and go, yeah, this is good.
Well, you are definitely having a good life as well, because we're going to talk about the tour a bit later on. But
Yeah.
do you know the interesting thing about, as you sit sort of here and we're Saturday, you're about to hit the Palladium on Tuesday. I'm going to be warming up the stage for you. I never thought I would say this with Beverley Knight. I'm going to be warming up the stage tomorrow night because I'm at the Palladium.
Oh, that's just mad. That is mad.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd say a chef on stage at the Palladium, but yeah, so I promise I won't mess the dressing room up for you. There we go.
You leave it as messy as you like. It's
Well,
fine.
don't say that, I might do, but
Oops.
there you go. So we've got in here a nice little bit of mushrooms. I'll put in there a bit of sherry vinegar. We take a little bit of this ham.
Gorgeous.
Nice little simple. We've got a little bit of Iberico ham. The key to this, really, is I don't know why I'm actually doing this when I've got the best Spanish chef in the business sat in my house. But he's just, he'll be joining us a little bit later, but I just thought, I've been to Spain, you like your little tapas.
I
and sort
do
of
like
stuff.
me tapas.
I thought I'll keep him locked up while I cook it for you. Ladies and gentlemen,
you.
there's a selection of tapas and the brilliant Beverley Knight. Right, before I give you anything to eat, Beverley, I'm going to give you this.
Yes.
So I don't want any of it to go on that beautiful dress of yours.
Oh, well, thank you.
There's tons of oil in here, so... But there's your prawns.
Fabulous.
There's your... I want you to taste these first. Probably taste these.
Oh, I will. I'll go
These
in.
little boccheronis, but you taste it with a little bit of the lemon and everything else.
Oh, yeah, I'll go in straight
So-
in. Let's see.
So I love these. I mean, Spanish anchovies are amazing anyway, like this. You can buy these online, but with a little bit
Oh.
of garlic, but the lemon, olive oil.
Gorgeous, brilliant
We're going to
stuff.
talk about the West End, talk about the theatre. There's loads to talk about as well. You're going to
There
stick around for the rest of the
is.
day?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. There you go. You've got lots to eat as well. There you go. But I'll be treating Beverley to cod with a Thai green curry sauce later on this morning. And there's a masterclass in cures, brines and pickles coming your way very soon. But join me again after the break, where Mr. James Tanner will be firing up the hobs. Looking forward to that, because pork's on the menu. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Now I'll be learning more about curing, pickling and brining in this week's Little Masterclass. I'll be chatting some more to Beverley Knight in a little while. But first, I'm joined by Jose in the kitchen. We're going to get to try a dish from an old friend of mine from the Ready Steady Cook days, who's now serving up amazing first-class food for the lucky people of Plymouth and Kent. It's the brilliant James Tanner. Thank you. Right then, fella, I built you up. What are we going to be doing? There's a beautiful bit of pork. What are we going to do?
Indeed. Well, you said at the start of the show, it's my roast pork belly. We're going to be doing it with a burnt apple puree. You could say the word caramelised, but you'll understand why when I show you in a moment.
Okay.
Creamed and roast cauliflower, little side of sauce, and then some radicchio, a bit of a bitter leaf on there as
So
well.
I'm cauliflower duty then, am I first? And
Yes,
then I'll leave you
please.
to do the pork. So
Perfect. Right, so I need some into small little florets that we're
Yeah.
going to cook in that sauté pan there at the front. OK, right, well, in the meantime, let's talk about this pork. If you're lucky enough, you've got a great local butcher, you can ask him to have it scored for you.
Yeah.
This one isn't, and deliberately isn't, because a great way, if you want to try it yourself and do it at home, is to use a sharp Stanley knife blade, OK? Because you really need it to cut through that initial top layer of fat. And by scoring it, it helps promote the crackling. So obviously this is new, yes, of course, it's clean. Don't get a minging one out of your toolbox or anything like
a
that.
minging one out of the toolbox?
Yeah,
I don't have minging ones in my toolbox.
Oh, no, it didn't come out of the toolbox. It came out of your
Get my
drawer.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anyway, clean blade on this one. Obviously, you've got to be super, super careful because it's so sharp. But you just want to start to drag the blade, and I'm deliberately holding the skin, and I'm not cutting right down through all the way. And I could spend ages and ages doing this, doing it really, really super close and tight, OK?
Yeah.
So, almost there with this. And then if I go away from myself, it's even safer, look, OK? And yes, you could try this with a knife, but honestly, it's not the same. Look, Jose, it never works, does it? It just doesn't work. Right. So now, if you can see, there you go. Look, it's like a little ladder. It's opened it all up, and that's exactly what we want.
It's all to do with the quality of the pork, isn't it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, that you've got, great ingredients, it's great food, and, you source the best you can, basically, 100%. Right, so we're going to add a touch of oil on there. I'm just going to wash my hands off quickly.
So I've got the cauliflower here, which I've got a little bit of colour on it.
Beautiful. So you've added the butter, but we're going to keep that butter, so don't waste that butter.
Yeah.
I know how much you like butter anyway.
I'm going to waste that.
But, no, I know. Why am I saying that to you? There's the last person, this last person. OK, so we're just going to put
Thank you, boss.
a thin layer of oil over the top. And also notice, before I put the oil on this pork was quite dry, and that's what you want. You don't want it too wet. A different way of drying it out as well is the night before. Obviously, have a nice, clear space in your fridge and leave it in your fridge uncovered and let the air that circulates in your fridge help to dry out the meat, which is really nice. OK, so I'm going to put... That's, ignore me, cut that, don't ever show that, I've just touched sugar. I went down, I went down for the salt part.
Salt's there.
Yeah, OK, right, so let's just be clear now. That one's sugar, and that one's salt. Anyway, we'll just go back to this part, yeah. So
It was like this on Ready Steady Cook, to be honest with you.
So I'm rubbing the oil in, and then we get some fine salt, but really be quite generous, especially on the skin side, OK?
So what do you want in your cauliflower puree? There's your nut brown butter, which
That's not brown now, lovely. Right, so we're going to add, you've got some water, some milk, some bay and some thyme, please, James, that'd be fantastic. Right, now, so obviously we've worked out how we're doing the pork now that we're using the right salt on it as well, that helps. And I've got a tray here set up with a cooling rack on it. I'm going to get a bit of paper. Now, yes, if I wanted a nice, like, you know, rich vegetable gravy with it, I would put it on what we call a trivet of vegetables. I would have done that. But I don't want that, and I don't need that for this dish because of the sweet, the salty element and everything else. I don't think that works. So this is what we like to do at work. This will stop it sticking and also stop the tray getting so hot because we're going to cook it at a very high temperature initially. Now, you think, yeah, you could put it on a rack, but you will find it could stick to the rack, and that will also mean it won't be so tender underneath. So a bit of paper, put your pork on it. I've got the oven preheated to 230 degrees, 20 minutes. Then, after the first 20 minutes, take the heat down, 20 to 30 minutes, and that's it. Pull it out, basically giving it an hour, half high heat, half of it low heat almost.
On it.
In it goes, thank you, chef.
That's my supper. Thank you very much. Lovely.
And then you rest it for the half as long as you cook it. So give it a half-hour rest.
OK.
OK?
Right, so we've got the cauliflower over there, which we blend.
Yep.
This is over here. Should we let's get the sauce on?
Yeah, definitely.
We can do the apples.
That's our next thing, right?
So what's with our sauce?
Right, so a shallot slice, please.
Just sliced, is that?
Yeah, just long ways. We just literally slice it, that's fine.
Okay.
I just love it. It's just amazing to see you both cooking, guys.
You think,
Right.
what's it, 20 years? 20 odd years?
It's been a long time.
20 odd years. It's been a long time. You're not even going to answer that, are you?
It's been a long time. Do it in there?
Yeah. OK, right, onto the apples. Very simple.
So you want me to do the sauce for you?
Basically, yeah. If you could just take that down a bit, bang a bit of
Do that,
celery.
I'll do that. It's fine. You do the apples then. Go on then.
So for the apples, brown the apples, lovely, that tartness that you get with it. This one, it looks weird when you do it, but the flavour is unreal.
It's all about picking places for restaurants.
Yeah.
One in Plymouth and one in Kent.
Yeah.
Just so happened to turn up and you fell in love with it?
But to compress a long story, I'm from Kent. I was born in Tunbridge Wells. Opportunity came up in Plymouth, where me and my brother opened our first restaurant in '99.
Yeah.
Which was Tanner's. Then we got the second one, Barbican Kitchen. My daughter was a week old when we opened, so I didn't go down that well at home, but I've still got that restaurant. So the restaurant's 17 years. And basically, it's just cooking, not messing around with it too much, but using good ingredients.
But didn't both of you did stints at the Roux Brothers, did you, at one point in your lives, you and your brother?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
different places?
Yeah, so Chris was London, France, New York, and I was 16 as a work experience at a place called Le Poubelle in London that's not there anymore. And then when I was 21, went to New York, upstate New York, as well. That was pretty cool.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah, I know. So 18 months.
Good training, good training.
Brilliant.
Right, now for the sugar.
And I really partied hard as well. No, never. No. Right, sorry, OK. More importantly, onto my apples. We've got these quartered, obviously. Yes, the cores are out. Yes, the skins are still on. Yes, it's a lot of sugar. We're going to dump this sugar, which isn't salt, straight over the top, right?
Yeah.
And give it a little mix-up. And then, again, in a high oven, about 20 minutes. Now, we've had this on the menu, caramelised apple puree, stuff like that, even burnt apple puree. But you'll see why James has just pulled it out. It's meant to look like this.
Right.
So it's meant to get the caramelisation, or, let's be honest, burn, half burn.
Yeah.
Skins are on as well. And you just roast. It's very simple, though. You roast the whole thing. Now,
I'll let you do it. Oh, do you want me to do that?
I've
I've got your sauce on the go. So
go on then. We got a little. I did have a spoon. Here we go. Got a spoon. Lovely. So yes, we're going to have to blend it and blend it well. It is a darker coloured puree. Thank you. And you make sure.
All that's in there is just the sugar and the apples.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
But look, you make sure you get all of the dark bits. Well, not all of them, but as much as you can, with skins and all.
Yeah. This is going to give it an amazing flavour, this as well.
Yeah, big time. And you've got to blitz it when it's warm still, because obviously if it goes stone cold, it sets because of the sugar content. Yeah, it's kind of doing something, but it's
going to be gorgeous.
So you said Monty about just to add a little bit of butter.
yeah,
Happy with that bit?
that's fine. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
that's very reserved for you, though.
Well, I've also put a bit in more when you weren't looking, to be honest with you.
OK, right, here we go. Look, ready? Look at the colour of this.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good.
Really nice, right?
Sultanery sort of colour.
The base, yeah.
So in here, we want me to add a little bit of the nut brown butter?
Yeah, a touch of the nut brown butter.
Tell me when.
Stop. Right, and then mix that in, and then if you can just check the seasoning.
That's that one.
Right, have you got a canonica spoon?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Looking good. Right.
Looking absolutely beautiful.
Bit of salt in there. A little bit of salt in there.
Let me check it. Yeah. Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah, big time.
Happy chef.
No, that one, yeah, that is brilliant.
So I'll grab your plate.
Thank you very much, great stuff. Right, let's check that collie. So with the collie, you can see where James put this in earlier. It's still got a bit of firmness, which is exactly what I want.
There's your puree.
Beautiful. So we get the puree.
Nice.
I'm just going to add a bit to the plate.
I love cauliflower puree. I just love it. Whether it's cauliflower soup, though, it's amazing, isn't it?
To me,
So
the reason
tasty.
why I use it with this is, you know, cauliflower's got that like slight sharpness to it, a flavour, almost semi-bitterish, not, but you've got the richness of the
I
butter.
actually love the leaves as well.
Yeah,
The leaf are
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
The leaves are
Do you remember I did one here, the whole one?
Yeah, roasted whole, which is
Roasted one,
beautiful,
that was
isn't
the
it?
one.
Right.
OK, right, so I've got a pork that's rested. Now, a lot of people say, you know, you leave your meat out and it rests and it goes stone cold and all that and everything. All you do at home is just take the whole thing, quick blast through the oven, and that's it, yeah? When I say quick blast, literally 2 to 3 minutes. So we take it off here, but it's not tough underneath because of that, OK? So another good thing as well is use a serrated knife when you cut it. OK, want to go in that nice thick bit there.
But I remember going around to the first Spanish market and seeing pork, how you used to buy pork in the UK. It used to be sort of 50% meat, 50% fat.
Yeah.
And all of it was like that in Spain. It's just,
But that to me is
Crackling, this looks great.
gorgeous. And obviously you got that crispy crackling crust.
Yeah.
OK, so take the pork, we'll lay the pork across the top. I want to grab the puree.
That'll be so intense, that. I love that. I might have to nick or borrow that one from... It's lovely, that.
So we can swap some serious recipes.
Exactly. I can't do it over the years, yeah.
Right, OK. And then the leaves have had a tiny bit of salt on them and a touch of olive oil. Now, the reason I put these on, obviously they're in season at the moment and everything, but you think about it, you've got creaminess, sweetness, and this is your bitter.
So give us the name of this dish.
And that's my roast pork belly, creamed roasted cauliflower, burnt apple puree, radicchio and cider sauce.
Mr. James Tanner, everybody. There you go.
Brilliant stuff.
Jose. Bon appetit,
Oh, man.
fella. And I am...
Amazing. Too good for you guys. A dream came true.
So I'm going to taste this puree.
Yeah.
I took a little sneaky taste of this. This would be great with, like, seafood as well, fish as well, wouldn't it? Be delicious. It's a great combination, that. They say bittersweet, sugary, there you go. Mr. James Tanner, everybody. Brilliant, there you go. Right, Jose will be cooking for us a little bit later on in the show, and there's still loads more to come this morning from my fabulous guest, Beverley Knight. But don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll be celebrating Diwali with a good friend of the show, Dipna Anand, and her dad, Gulu. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back. Now, coming up, we've got a masterclass in cures, pickles and brines, and I'll be finishing off the show in style with an amazing dish of cod that I'm going to serve with a Thai curry sauce. But first, I'm dressed and ready, and Jose and I are ready for this morning because we've saved some space because we're about to enjoy a Diwali feast from the brilliant Dipna and Gulu Anand. Now, Thank you very much for this. Thank you very much,
It
because you
suits
kindly brought this for me as well. This is beautiful as well. So, tell us about the festival then. What is Diwali all about? What does it celebrate?
So Diwali celebrates the festival of light.
Yeah.
And there's a historical significance of why it's celebrated, to celebrate the return of Rama and Sita. And when they came, one thing that I always remember, Dad telling me the story, is when they came back to their village, it was all dark. And the villagers lit lamps and diyas and made it light. And that's why we celebrate Diwali. And
So it's all about light, and then you have festivals
Festival of light and happiness.
happiness, and it's I mean it's a celebration of food as well, isn't it?
yeah,
Really?
Absolutely.
and celebrating good over evil. That's the message. And then we invite the goddess Lakshmi into our homes, who is the goddess of wealth, just to offer our thanks.
Okay, so what I mean, we'll go through this in a minute. Look at this. This is top trump me and you, to be honest. This is spectacular.
The smell
So
is
we're going to
something
go through this,
amazing.
but what you're going to do a few dishes. What are you going to be doing?
Yes, so we're doing a really traditional chana bhatura, which is chole bhature, a very Punjabi dish, which is a chickpea curry served with fried bread.
Okay.
And then Dad's going to be doing a carrot and chili pickle as well.
Okay, Dad's doing the pickle. So
Dad's
where do we
doing the
start?
pickle.
Where do we start
So we're
with
starting here.
Yeah.
We're going to be making a base without onions. So you go in with some oil, you add some cumin seeds, which are in my spice pot there.
a spice box?
Yeah.
All right.
So the cumin goes in. And then, in fact, whilst Dad's doing the masala, I can do the dough for the bhatura. So cumin just to flavour that
So is this always vegetarian? Is this all the spread? Is it
Like,
On
during
Diwali.
Diwali, yes.
always vegetarian? Okay.
Yeah, and there's so many options, though. Like, you have
I'm just-
the
I mean, look at-
barfi, you've got the samosas, you've got your bhajis, and gulab jamuns is...
I mean, we're going to get onto the gulab jamun as well, but while you're frying off your onions, Dad, tell me what these are, because these are amazing.
Puffed sort of golgappes.
Yeah.
And you have that with the pani, that is the
Tamarind
syrup.
water, yeah.
Tamarind
It's
water.
hollow in the centre. Look.
Yeah, so what you do is you crack the middle, you fill it with spiced potatoes and chickpeas, put in the tamarind water, because these are crispy hollow shells made with flour and semolina. And then you roll out the dough and deep fry it and it puffs up. It's like a street food dish in India, so you have those stalls and all they're doing is having one pani puri after the other.
I love it.
Right. You want the onions to get like that, so that's as caramelised
Right,
as you
I'll
want
move
them.
that out of the way.
Thank you, I'll keep this.
There's that. That's gone out of the way, and they look like that.
Yes. And these onions they have to be as caramelised as this.
Yeah.
And then I already added the green chilli into that one, so now ginger garlic paste. Dad told me off when I missed that last time. So I'll add it now. Right, here we go. Ginger garlic. It's just
And
ginger
do you
garlic.
do half and half?
Yeah, equal amount. Equal amount. And now what you want to do is get your tomato in.
Is that too hot for you, or is it all right?
That's
this is
cool.
fine.
We can get our tomato in. And I've just blended those to make it nice and smooth.
Are they tin tomatoes then?
Yeah, tinned tomato. You can use fresh as well, but these are tinned.
Oh, good.
And then we spice it up. You can try some burfi too. And there's
we're trying?
shakkar part. There's so much here, but
I know there's so much. So much.
No worry. We will get through. No worries at all.
What are these then?
So these are mattis.
Matties?
And what they are is crispy stacks made. You can make them with plain flour, and you add carom, and then they're also deep fried.
But it's desserts what amazes me. The sugar that is in desserts in Indian food.
Yeah, they are
What is?
really
You have
sweet.
definitely got a sweet tooth.
100%. Like, look, the burfi, that's literally all sugar, but different flavors.
Yeah.
And then the gulab jamun, you tried those. You like the gulab jamun.
Have you never
make
tasted?
them.
You tasted these, and you've turned it into a beautiful cheesecake over here.
Yeah, that's it. That's my special gulab jamun cheesecake.
So
which I do.
what's going on in here?
So
Then?
here I've added my carom, I've added my baking powder, I've added some yogurt, which is going to give it the bhatura a nice softness. I've added some salt, and now I'm going to go in with my water, which is just here.
Yeah.
And then literally, you mix everything together, and a little bit at a time, just get the water in. Dad's put the chickpea in now.
So if I move that over there, Dad, I'm going to put the pan on for you
Yes.
for your chutney, because you can tell us about the
Yes.
chutney then. What goes in your chutney?
You have to use mustard seeds
Right.
for this and grind them
Right.
in a...
So non-toasted, you just grind mustard
fresh,
seeds.
yes. So maybe
fresh.
3 teaspoons.
Okay.
We've got enough carrots there.
Yeah.
So as soon as this is done, you see the mustard seeds straight away
Yeah.
are sizzling. And your next thing is you go in with all the carrots.
Right.
Then you
Can you
need
not
your...
forget about my chana over there?
No, we've got it. We've got it.
Can you add some garam
You need some-
masala, please, to my chana?
What's that you put
red
in there?
chili powder
Right.
to give that spice,
Yeah.
and some salt. And I'm adding the green chilies as well. Now, what we need is a little bit of lemon juice
Gets you back in the throat, isn't it?
and a touch of vinegar.
What's that?
Vinegar, white vinegar.
White wine vinegar.
White distilled vinegar.
Love this.
That is it. This is your carrot and chili pickle. We can switch this off. This is done.
Switch that off. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll
this
just
is
leave
done.
those to one side.
Yes.
That's you've got this. I'm going to put this here for colour as well because this is.
Yeah. The garam
Garam
masala.
masala's in. Yep.
I can put that there.
Yeah, and then we just need amchur
amchur
and
powder.
pomegranate. So always finishing touches when you're
What I'm
cooking
doing
Indian
is
curries, garam masala and
Putting
coriander.
At the end.
At the end.
nardana. That's
Right.
the pomegranate.
Pomegranate. So this is the bhatura dough. You want to leave it to prove for about 30 minutes. Just cover it and leave it to prove. And I hear some I've done already.
So you leave it
that's
to
working.
prove or just
Well,
rest?
it's got no, yeah, just to rest. It's got no proving agent. It's actually got no proving agent in it, so just leave it to rest, yeah. So now bhatura.
Yeah.
You make little round dough balls first, then you make a disc like this. So just this size
Just
is
the
good.
size.
Then you make like small puffy
Mold.
bhaturas.
So what area in India are these from? Are they just everywhere?
Punjab. Traditionally
Punjab?
Punjab, yeah. You can do one. There you
Oh,
go.
I've got to make one.
Yeah. Put James to the test, huh?
Some,
Yeah.
give it some more.
Sometimes you have to make, like, obviously when we have guests at home during Diwali, like you can have 20, 25 guests
Oh,
come
wow.
over for Diwali.
Big party.
Yeah, big Diwali party.
Celebration.
And we celebrate Diwali in a big way. It's a big festival for us, so it's time to celebrate, time to eat as much
You
as
celebrate
you can.
here in the restaurant as well?
Yeah. Sometimes you do like a Diwali dinner and dance. It's quite fun. Dad sings a few Hindi songs.
I will be there.
Yes. Okay, so you roll out the bhatura and you can see it's.
But while you're doing that, you're twisting it at the same time.
Yeah,
That's,
so you're going to have a go and try and do that right now. Pretty easy.
Leave to the professional.
precisely, you know?
Dad is an expert bhatura fryer, so he's going to fry the bhatura. So what
you
you
do
do,
that?
do you want to take
Just
the basket
put
out?
that,
Just put it in
yeah.
there.
You're doing well, my friend.
So do you have to get it a certain thickness or a certain size or what?
So you don't want it too thin, you don't want it too thick.
Right.
You just want it in the middle. So
How thick do we
like,
want
like 2 millimeters, is that?
Wow, look at
I
that.
love that.
Oh, look, it puffed. And that means if it puffs, whoever is eating it, this is what we say in our culture, if it puffs, the roti or the bhatura, it means the person eating it is hungry.
I've never been to India when Diwali is. Is it celebrated all over India?
Yeah, well, yeah, more North India, but it is, we all in India.
More North India?
Yeah, yeah. And they celebrate it in different ways. But the story, if you ever get to read up about the story of Diwali and why it's celebrated, the history, it's amazing.
Right, so, Dad, I'm going to leave you to plate up because I'm going to then come over here
Right.
and I'm going to take over the fryer because you've got tons of things with you. So
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm on it.
Turn it.
Turn it. I'm on it.
So this is done.
So, Dad.
It's amazing. Look at these. They just puff
in
up.
Here, there's some spoons there. I will get some bhaturas, fresh bhatura. Oh my God, these are so good. But they're all puffing. That's amazing. Take.
That looks. It's the smell, though, isn't it? Really, is this? So explain to us what else we've got in here. You've got in here. We'll just run through this. You've got
Put the
Carrot.
carrot.
so the gulab jamun you've actually made on the show before, haven't you?
Yes,
Really?
we made the gulab jamun.
She's made out of milk powder.
Your milk powder, semolina, plain flour, sugar, a little bit of cardamom as well, so it's flavoured with cardamom. And then you've got your samosas, 2 types of samosas. You've got some onion bhajis. And then you've got the chutneys there as well. So it's a proper Diwali feast. Like, this is proper Diwali at my house. But here you have some farfar, which are coloured papadums made of tapioca, some mini papadums. This is called mango chunda, so it's a mango chutney with grated mango. This is Dad's special carrot and chili pickle. This is the chana masala, and this is the bhatura. So you have a Diwali chana bhatura platter.
And there we go. This is Dipna
and Galoo. Brilliant. Brilliant. Galoo, I'll leave you to explain how he eats these things because you can tell me how to eat them over here. So what do you do with this? We've got some over here. What's the idea? Do you use this to fill it or?
No, so you tear the bhatura, yeah, just like you would a roti.
Yeah.
And then you scoop up some chana.
And then take.
Put some
piece of the
mango
carrot.
chutney, the chunda on there. That
Some
on
of the
there.
chutney on
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And then, yeah.
Take a little bit of
That's
this.
it. That's the right way. How is it?
Your
So
restaurant is called
amazing.
Brilliance for a reason because you guys are behind the whole thing. That is absolutely delicious. Happy with that?
Very happy. Happy
There you go.
Diwali.
That is delicious.
Paka stuff.
Dipna and Galoo, everybody. Brilliant, that. That is delicious. So tasty. How much flavour is in that? It's unbelievable.
Coming. The spices,
Yeah.
just perfectly.
And we
spiced.
start here and work our way around. We've got exactly
I will.
3 minutes break to eat it all. Right, Jose will be rustling up a dish of turbot for us a little bit later on this morning. I'll be laying on a spot of lunch for my guest Beverley Knight at the end of the show. But see you back here in a couple of minutes where I'll be teaching you everything you want to know about curing, pickle and brining in this week's Little Masterclass. I'll see you in a bit. What should we have next? Welcome back. Now, there's still loads more to come from my guest, Beverley Knight, and Chef Jose Pizarro has got a recipe for an amazing turbot in store for us. That's coming up next. But first, it's time for this week's Little Masterclass, and I thought we'd talk about everything to do with curing, pickling and brining. Well, not really everything, because the subject is vast, to be honest with you. There's so many different types of cures, brinings and pickles, but I'm going to kind of do one of each, really, first of all. So this one, first of all, is like a curing, really, with this. So this is a classic salmon cure. So it's a mixture of sugar and a little bit of salt, and equal quantities of each. Now, if you mix the two together in a bowl, that is simply your cure ready. So that's your sugar, that's your salt. Mix the two together, pop it over a load of fish, which I've got some beautiful salmon over here, pop it in the fridge, wrap it up, leave it for about 6 hours minimum, something like that. Overnight, ideally 12 hours, something like that. No more than that, really. And then you just leave it and it'll just quite happily cure. You wash it off and then you can use it. And you can use it for gravlax, that kind of stuff, a little bit of mustard, some dill. But what I'm going to do is take some beetroot, because I think this time of the year, it's nice to do something funky with it. So you can take a little bit of beetroot, like we've got in here. This is just the cooked beetroot. You don't have to use your fresh stuff. And we just blend this. Blend the beetroot up. At the same time now, we can add a little bit of our sugar and our salt, so you start to mix all this lot together. There we go. Blend all this lot up as well. What you're after is a little sort of paste. And we're going to utilise that paste to go over the top of our fish. So once you've blended this, we can then take your salmon to one side, grab a tray. You want a tray that's got a lip in it. Don't use a tray that hasn't got ridges on it, because what will happen with this salmon while it's in the fridge, it's going to leak out anyway. That's the liquid from the cure. Whether you use the salt or the sugar, either way, it's actually going to pull the liquid out of the fish as well. So what you want to do is just take some of this beetroot, just pop it on the tray like that. There we go. Now, obviously, if you're using the salt and the sugar, it's much drier than this. But either way, it'll do the same, have the same effect, really. You take your fish, and then what you want to do is take your cure and you put it over the top. Now, the salt and sugar, of course, will be dry, but you really, like I said, you just need to put it into the tray because the liquid will come out the fish as well. Now, when you're curing this, what I would do is then just grab the cling film like that, tip it over, fold it up. And then rather than just leave it like that, I would actually turn it over so it sits in the cure, if that makes sense, rather than just on the skin side. But you can see it's all the way, cured all the way over. Then what you would do is pop it in the fridge Now, for a sort of thinnish piece of salmon like this, it wants to sit in the fridge for about 4 to 6 hours. Now, a thicker piece is going to take overnight, but then once we've got our piece of fish, then we can lift this out. Now, you can see the liquid that's coming out of it. You'll get that same effect, like I said, with even just the sugar and the salt. But we can then just take off this. That's the beetroot that's left behind because the sugar and the salt have dissolved into it. And then what you want to do is just get rid of that because you don't want that going down the plug hole. It's not a good idea. There we go. Get rid of that. And then cold water. Just rinse it under cold water. If I just lift this off, you'll see what it looks like. Look, it's an amazing looking piece of salmon that's cured. Get yourself some kitchen paper over the top. We lay that on there. But you see, look at that beautiful piece of salmon. Now, you can then, like I said, if you want to do gravlax, you can then sprinkle this with a little bit of Dijon mustard, use a pastry brush over the top, chop a little bit of dill, cover it up in the fridge, leave it for a couple of hours, and it's ready to eat. But once it's cured like that, it'll last a week in the fridge. It's fantastic, this sort of stuff, really. And you can cure any fish you want like this, but obviously salmon being the classic. And then when you take this, we can then grab it and then slice it. So you want a nice sharp knife, and we then cut pieces out of this. So it's important that you take the first bit and then you can slice it. Look at that. You grab each slice as you're doing this. As you go, slice it all through. Like that. Just make sure they're nice and thin as you're doing this. As you go, but you see that little bit of cure on there as well. But either way, if you wanted to do it with just sugar and salt, you can add a little bit of whiskey if you wanted to, a little bit of brandy, even a little bit of gin. Gin-cured salmon works equally good. And then you can just grab a plate, and then it's really ready to eat. You've got this amazing bit of cured salmon, like that, and a little bit of beetroot. That is so simple to make and prepare. That's that one bit. The next bit we're going to do is turn our attention to meat and our chicken. This is a brine, really. For a brine, what I've got in here is taking a selection of different aromats. So we've got bay leaf, we've got peppercorns, I've got some onion, 5% salt to water solution. So if you're looking at a litre of a liquid, you're looking at 50 grams of salt. That's what you want. So you want, basically, it's 5% salt solution, not 5 to 1. So 5% salt solution. You just pop it all into the boil, bring it to the boil, allow it to cool and let it go cold, and then take your chicken thighs. Now, this is where you can just pop this over the top of chicken, and it's so important, really, when you're doing this, particularly for fried food like we're going to do over here, to brine it, because it tastes amazing. This adds flavour, it adds texture, it adds moisture as well. A lot of chefs are brining bits and pieces now, be it chicken or pieces of pork. It really transforms the meat as well. It's brilliant. So I've got in here chicken thighs. If you are going to basically marinate this as well, the chicken thighs want to go in for about, if they haven't got any bones in, for about a couple of hours. If they have got bones in, probably want 6 to 8 hours, or really overnight in the brine. That's perfect. You can leave it for 24 hours, really, but you can do actually a whole chicken like this as well. But once it's been in the brine, it looks like that. So you can see what happens to the texture as it changes and the colour, really. And this tenderises the chicken as well. It's absolutely beautiful, this. So what we're going to do is take this, using a selection of different spices over here. So I've got some flour, I've got a selection of different spices. I've got oregano, marjoram, thyme, that kind of stuff, garlic salt, a little bit of onion salt in there as well. Mix that together. And this, we're going to deep fry these. So think of like southern fried chicken. But rather than put it in the buttermilk overnight, we can use the buttermilk as sort of the coating, really, that makes the flour stick together. So you just take this mixture now, you take your chicken out of the brine, you can see what's happened to the chicken with this, pop it into the buttermilk, and then into the flour, like that. So just open up the chicken, straight in here. Now, you can brine any part of the chicken, really. The chicken breasts, really. With the breasts, you wouldn't want to marinate them for any, or brine them for any more than a few hours, really. So, particularly when you've got these thighs like this, it's nice to give them a good overnight brine as well. We're going to just mix this all together. and get that flour right into these edges. And this really tenderises the chicken, but it has so much flavour to this as well. You can then take this, and we're going to deep fry this, so straight in there. Now, if you haven't got one of these, just a pan with some oil will suffice, really. That goes in there. Just going to wash my hands and turn our attention to our other one. I've kind of just thrown it all together, but this is a nice little pickle over here. So we've got the pickle. You take a little bit of white wine vinegar. You use white wine vinegar or rice wine vinegar. You want something much more milder. You wouldn't use things like a malt vinegar. You could do, of course, because obviously you've got pickled onions, that kind of stuff. That's a different way to do it, but that takes time. It takes months and months and months. This, what you want to do is just warm it all up with a touch of water. So about 3 to 1. 1 part water, 3 parts vinegar. And then we take some sugar, bit of sugar in here, and a good pinch of salt. Now, it's entirely up to you which salt you use. That's going to go in there. And you want to warm this up. Now, you can flavour this with whatever you want. I've got a million peppercorns flying all over my bench. But you can flavour this with some ginger. I mean, I actually don't peel ginger because I think when you take ginger and you put the skins in, you get this natural heat from the ginger. I just absolutely love it. All it is that. So the chicken can then come out into there. Nice little pinch of salt over the top. And then this can go on here. But by doing this and brining the chicken, it keeps this chicken lovely and moist inside, which I'll show you once it cools down a bit. Because we can turn our attention to the other little pickle that we've got on here, which is then cooled down a little bit. And then this is usually really to flavour vegetables and that kind of stuff, but it's fantastic with things like kohlrabi. We've got Japanese mouli, we've got some carrots, we've got some turnips. If you've got little baby turnips like this, you can just put the whole lot in. But also with this, you can put the leaves in as well, because this can go in here. It's a good idea to do this while it's still warm and allow this mixture to cool down. But you can take even the carrots, you don't need anything fancy. You can dice this all up, you can slice them. Slice it thinly so you allow that pickle to cure in there as well. I've got some of these. I love these, kohlrabi. They go in there as well with the leaves. Beetroot, you can cure like this. Obviously, if you're curing things like beetroot in this, you do this separately and then you add the two together. Otherwise, everything will turn pink. But you've got nice little kohlrabi over here, which you can then take. Be it, you can either peel this or just slice this into thin slices. Like that. Radishes, that kind of stuff is brilliant. Even onions. If you want something really simple, I've got some lovely Japanese mouli over here, which I absolutely adore as well. You can peel this if you want. You don't have to. But this goes in here as well. But just the normal conventional radish works. And the whole idea of it is you can load all this flavour in here. And as it sort of cools down, even if it's been in there for no more than a minute, it'll get this amazing flavour from it. This amazing pickle flavour from it as well. So a little bit more of these leaves for a bit of colour. And then you can take a bowl. And these are just brilliant as they are. Now, this isn't the same as sort of kimchi, of course, which is just salted. And it's just pressed, really. Whereas this is just fresh flavours. And this doesn't keep. So once you've made this little pickle like this, you want to eat this really within a few hours. It'll keep overnight a little bit, but this is brilliant if you want just a simple little snack. You want to garnish a little bit of fish by doing this simple little style pickle. It really is delicious. Whichever one you choose, either one of these, like that, we've got the salmon, you've got the nice little bit of chicken. It's entirely up to you. Very different techniques, really, but once you master one of them, move on to the next one. But this chicken as well, it keeps it beautiful and moist in the middle as well. But it's a great way to actually take chicken, whether you're doing it like that or even roasting it. Try putting it in brine. If you're going to put it in brine, put it overnight, make sure you pat it really dry and then roast it and you'll taste the difference. There you have it. Simple as that. Yay! There we go. If you'd like to learn about a little masterclass, then do get in touch with me, see if we can help out right here on the show. Time now for a quick break, but join me again in a couple of minutes when Mr. Jose Pizarro will be taking over the kitchen duties and the budget. Wait till you see the size of this turbot. See you in a bit. Welcome back. I'm here with Jose, and we're going to be making a show-stopping dish of cod for my guest Beverley Knight. That's coming up next. But first, like I said, I'm here with Jose and Dipna, and we're pretty excited about this because of this amazing fish in front of us, cooked by this amazing gentleman over here, one of the best Spanish chefs in the business, is going to cook this beautiful bit of turbot. Mr. Jose Pizarro, everybody. So the budget has gone. What are you going to be doing with it? Because this is amazing.
I think just roast it.
Just roast it in the oven.
Easy. I'm gonna take it out all the aroma.
Wow. Okay.
Tray with some rosemary, put in the oven. Very simple.
Now
and then we are gonna do some vegetables.
This is Spanish style. So what we're going to say is you can do this with a plaice, you can do it with sole, you can do it any whole fish.
Anything.
At whatever size it is, because I've been with you around the markets in Spain, and I have to say, you have to visit the markets in Spain. They are just spectacular.
It's all about
produce. The produce just blows you away. You've got amazing fish, massive great fish, small fish, seafood. It's just a...
In Spain.
Oh, it's just it's an eye-opener with it.
Any particular place or...
all over.
All over.
We went to Cadiz.
Cadiz, where you've got a house based in Cadiz, anyway. But I travel all over from north, south, east, west, and it's the same everywhere. The
is
produce.
it?
But also very similar to India, I suppose. You're very loyal on ingredients, areas.
Totally. And the thing is, when you just go to the market, you just see all the local fishes. And sometimes I'm going there, I say, I never saw that before.
Yeah.
And people asking me, my guests, when I take them around, I say, what is that? And it's absolutely beautiful type, all of them.
They have these shrimp in Denia, which is on the east side, but you don't really get them in the south, so they're very local to that area and only caught in that area.
This one on the north.
Yeah, well, this one's Cornwall.
Yeah, this one is
This one, oh, right.
Oh, yeah, have to be.
This one's from a good mate of mine, Johnny, the fisherman. He's down in Cornwall. He supplies us with fish on the show as well, and in my restaurant as well. So we've got a beautiful bit of turbot over here. So
yes.
You're just simply going to take this and put it on the tray, aren't you? That's.
Let's put some oil, a little bit of oil there.
A little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that. And then some rosemary. What I'm looking here is all the flavors coming from the herbs.
Okay.
At the same time, when you put in the oven, with the smoke, it's just something.
It's one thing that I didn't realise until I went to Spain, how much you cook on open flame.
Yeah.
Charcoal. Every opportunity, don't you?
We have this one in the where we are filming in San Sebastian.
Yeah,
outside.
so I went to San Sebastian on my first trip.
I went recently as well. It's amazing.
And they cook the turbot on the street. Just...
But I was intrigued. I thought it was just like you can get all the ingredients in that region, but I guess it's everywhere. You're saying it's everywhere in Spain. So...
Everywhere in Spain, you really can get all over amazing ingredients.
I know you want to put a little bit of salt on it, because that's...
some olive oil.
A little bit of olive oil over the
Please.
top, yeah. Over the top there. And then just a sprinkling of salt.
Yeah. This is make me happy. How easy is to make me happy? A good piece of fish.
It's actually, weirdly enough, doing this Spanish trip, it changed the way I've cooked. And I've cooked the same way I've cooked all my life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I went to France, I went to America, I've been to all these food trips. It wasn't until I went to this gentleman's country, it's changed the way I cook totally. And I think India's going to do the same if I ever get the chance to do
I
it.
won't put any yogurt or masala on it, don't worry.
So this
I'll do it
goes
like
in
that
here.
now.
All the chefs are going to be very jealous watching this. The chefs watching this, but this goes in here. How long would you cook this in a conventional oven at home?
Just the same way.
40 minutes, 30
40 minutes, depending. This one I think is going to be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And inside, just take the heat inside, and it's going to be around 55, and that's it.
Well, I'm going to take this off as well because we've got the mushrooms, and you want to put the cabbage that you've got in here as well.
Please.
So
And cabbage, just. Yeah. I like my mushroom a little bit
now
crunchy.
tell me about the restaurants then, because now I can't keep up with you what you've got at the restaurants. So you got the restaurant in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
You got the main one, which is your main. Where is that?
Vermont Street.
Yeah.
Each two of them. My first one, Jose, a little corner in Vermont Street, is just like doing.
So that's where you can just come wandering in. Because what I loved about Spain, and particularly areas of Spain, the tapas bars, the pinchos bars, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to book a table. You just walk in. You don't even need a seat.
Yeah, the cultures
tapas
are
bar,
making out.
the proper local tapas bar are as the same than a pub. You go there in a pub for a pint and some Scotch egg.
Yeah.
And see your friends.
Yeah.
You go to a tapas bar, you go with a caña, little beer, piece of omelette, tortilla, some jamón ibérico, and see your friends. And that is all about.
What I love about although you've got tapas bars everywhere, there's no real competition between each one because some people will actually do just mushrooms.
Yep.
Some will just do ham. You know.
Yeah, when I went to San Sebastian, there's particular shops that you just go to just to have the egg and mushroom.
That's it.
And then the
That is
crackling
the
pork.
gambara.
Oh my god.
Gambara,
Yes,
egg
that's
yolk,
it.
mushroom
That's
around.
it. Yes.
Just mix.
That's the one.
I have, and then you just use the egg as a dressing.
Right.
It's something
But also you have to
absolutely
be there at a
amazing.
particular time because if you miss it,
Yeah.
that's it. It's finished.
So
San
that's
Sebastian is like you say. You have one place for the egg with the mushroom, another one with the chop,
Yes.
and another one you go just for the cheesecake.
Oh my god, that was
La
amazing.
Viña.
Amazing cheese. That's the best cheese.
I do in my business, in my restaurant, and
Okay, I'm
it's
coming tomorrow.
almost no. It's the same because it's the same recipe.
Okay, so where does this come in?
This is coming from I don't know. I love it. This one,
Black
this one,
pudding.
the black pudding.
You wanna
get
put it in with
no
this?
here. We are gonna take this one somewhere.
Okay, put it there. Oh, you want to drain these out? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one here. Look, the mushroom is just lightly cooked.
Yeah.
You can have a little bit bigger one. You just want to make my life difficult.
Right. So what do you want to do? Slice this or something?
perfect. Yeah, just crumble.
Or crumble it up?
Yeah.
So this is black pudding.
Black pudding is all over Spain.
It is all
this
over
one
Spain.
is all over Spain. This one is from Extremadura.
Well, that's just because you have. I mean, pork in Spain is just outstanding.
We have
But because
the Iberico pork is
Yeah.
something very, very unique. This
But
time,
you can't even slice this like normal black pudding. Look.
No.
You crumble it up.
crumble. This time I'm gonna use
Okay.
some oil, just to the thaw my
Right.
mama, like that.
So this goes in here. Yeah.
Put inside. You have this one here, almost ready. How is the fish looking?
It's looking pretty good. You can check it, but
You know, I think it's smiling. I need the cabbage.
cabbage is on. I'm good. Yep.
Huh? Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
Put the cabbage in. You just want to just seconds.
Pelaha. Yeah.
Right. The fish is looking pretty good. I'll bring this out for you. Can't believe that. Look at this. Just check that out.
That is what I
Look
say.
at that.
Absolutely not fabulous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's going to be amazing. So, do you want me to slide this onto the platter, or
Yes, please.
so? Get our platter.
Wow. The tail, bless it.
Oh, sorry, we left the tail. Sorry. That's all right. Go on, you're all right.
Always me, no?
Go on. I was doing really well, and then you messed it up. There you go.
I love that.
Happy with that?
Very happy indeed.
Good.
And then just all the veggies.
Right, so that's that bit. We got all the veg to go with it. We got.
Por favor, some of the mushroom or some of the potatoes, please.
Yeah.
We just put around.
This is almost as big as your feast, you see.
Almost.
So you want the potatoes in the middle, or?
Just, yeah, put no in the middle, in one side, por favor.
That's all right.
Like that.
Potatoes with it as well.
Yes. Gorgeous greens there. Important to have some greens.
I'm going to chop some mint for you as well.
Yes, por
Less
favor. The mushrooms.
And we failed to mention the pub that you've got. You've got a lovely little pub.
I love it there, I have to say. It's doing so well. And it's like we say, always I want to have a pub because remind me a tapas bar. And the locals is their pub because some of them been going there for 40 years. And I love them very much. Hello, by the way, from me.
This is the essence of Spanish cooking, isn't it, really? You love to feed people.
I love it.
Like in India, don't
Yeah.
you?
The cultures are very similar.
Yeah.
It's all about people. It's all about to come into my house,
Yeah.
to our house, and enjoy.
The cultures are very similar because you just put it in front of people and you go, there you
Tear
go.
and share
I know it's going to be good. Just
concept,
taste that.
yeah. Got-
So a little bit of mint.
You know, ma'am?
Jose Pizarro, everybody. You're a legend, buddy. Right, we've got a plate over here, so why don't I'll prepare the fish. And then,
I think I can.
so, because Dipna, you can have a dive into this as well, but look at this fish.
And some mushroom. Oh, wow. That is well cooked.
It's absolutely beautiful. Just look at that. It's beautifully cooked. Well,
I'm gonna put just tiny extra virgin olive oil now there. Just sort of finish.
There you go, Dipna.
So everyone does a lovely sauces around juice. I just do extra virgin olive oil.
There you go. Dive into that. This is a real treat, I have to say. I mean, yeah. And so far this year, Spain was the last time I had whole turbot like this. But now I've got a Spanish. Now we've got a Spanish chap cooking it in my house.
Anytime. And always I feel so very welcome, my friend. Thank you very much.
It's just one of the. Yeah. Apart from the weather, there's no difference. It's a magical way to cook fish, really.
The fish is proper cooked good.
It is beautiful.
And it's amazing what simple ingredients can do. It's just simple.
It's Spanish fish and chips, that's what it is.
It is.
It's Spanish
really
fish
good.
and chips. But there we go. It's just absolutely beautiful. Jose Pizarro, everybody. Legend, my friend, legend. Right, we've still got time for one more final course, so join me again after the break. We're roasting up cod with a Thai green curry sauce for Beverley Knight. I'll see you after the break. That is just spectacular. Welcome back to the final part of the show, but I'm back in the kitchen with James. We've got Jose, Dipna, and of course Beverley Knight.
Oh, okay.
Right, so this is one of my favourite recipes to cook, but it's a little bit tricky. We're going to do a wonderful. We're going to start off this sort of our Thai curry sauce. We're going to start off by cooking our shrimp heads. We're going to make our own shrimp paste.
Yep.
In here with sesame oil. So we take the sesame oil like this. We're going to cook this down with the shrimp heads in there as well. So that's the first part of this. Meanwhile, over here, we've got a beautiful bit of cod, and I'm going to simply just roast this piece of cod off, but I'm going to do it in sort of nice little chunks. Now, Beverley, we talked about so much earlier on about the tour and bits and pieces, but we just got to the top of the little bit of the album. But this is a new album for you. Anybody that's just waking up, this is a new venture for you. This is album number 9.
Album number 9, and it's a completely different animal to the one that people would expect.
Yeah.
It's, I wanted to do something that was different. I thought, why not? I can, so why not? So
That's it.
Yeah.
And that was because you work with different people and you met people along your journey. You wanted to go because you must have the pick of the crop, really, who you want to work with, because you work with some amazing people.
I have, and I'm lucky enough to be in that position where I could say, right, what do I want to do this time? Well, this time, because I've been so busy with everything, theatre and everything that's going on, I pulled in the songwriters to help me put this record together.
What's that like? Doing something totally different? Are the record companies with you on that, or they trust you on that? Or
They are actually. They were right with me every step of the way, and believe you me, that's not always the case. Sometimes they're fighting you, but in this instance, it was like, yeah, let's do something different. And one of the songs, I was a bit nervous, thinking, oh, I don't know, is this very different for me?
Yeah.
They were like, no, trust the process, it'll be great.
I'm sure it is. We've listened to it a little bit earlier as well, but I just want to, we're going to get this blended. We're going to make a lot of noise for this bit, so off you go.
OK, so we've obviously cooked them down and just so the colours come out. That's really, really important, so it doesn't look opaque. Basically, it's cooked, but a lot of flavour in these heads, isn't there? But like James said...
Tons of flavour.
Like James said, it is noisy, all right? But we want to really blitz all of that flavour in there, OK? The sesame oil smells brilliant as well, actually. I've got to admit,
You can borrow this recipe in a minute.
I will.
While he's over there making a lot of noise, I've got in here this cod cooking away nicely.
Right.
With a little bit of salt, cooked in a touch of butter, and I'm basically just going to simply roast this off and flash it through the oven. So while it's finishing that, we've got some onions, I've got some lime leaf, I've got some chilies. There are a lot of chilies going in here. So I hope you like your food spicy. In fact, I know you all like your food
Yeah,
spicy.
I think we're fine, aren't we? We're fine.
Yeah, you all like your food spicy, so I'm going to throw all that in as well, all this sort of green chilli. And then we've got the ginger, we've got the garlic, and I'm going to cook it all down. So I mentioned that, obviously, we made less noise now, but we mentioned the album. This is the album as well. We've shown the amazing video. Now, I love vinyl. And you've been in the music industry...
A long time.
No, but do you know what vinyl was the only way to buy the music. That's how you had it. Now it's almost come full circle. Now and then it became trendy.
Yeah.
But
It's just lovely. It's a lovely sound, vinyl. And I do find it really interesting the way that all these formats, they come round again. You know, cassettes are making a comeback as well.
Are they
People
really?
are even buying cassettes. I mean, they were like the worst sound ever, but, you know...
you used to get them stuck all the time.
Exactly,
I remember that
used
when
to get the pencil to wind it on. Wind the tape.
Exactly. So, look, we've got the cod in here as well. And we didn't mention, of course, the stuff that you've been doing in the West End and the theatre, because the theatre that you've just done something this year.
I
is it
have.
Sister Act next year?
Sister Act is next year, which I'm very excited about.
Is that going back into it? You've done it before, though.
Yeah, I did it in the summer of 2022. Now I'm back, doing it one more time.
But that, if there's a part for you, then it's got to be that, though, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, Dolores Van Cartier, a.k.a. Sister Mira Clarence.
Yeah.
So much fun. Love it. Really good fun.
So, look, we've got in here, look, this is our nice... Now, look, we've got that lovely little shrimp paste. Shot of that. That's been passed. So there's a process with this. The cod's gone in the oven. It only takes about 3 or 4 minutes. And then you sort of warm this all up, but it all starts to come together right at the last minute. What you want to do is just cook this down slightly. But what I want to talk to you about is this tour, because
Tell me.
Because so I'm at the Palladium tomorrow night, you're at the Palladium on Tuesday night. How do you find... Because you toured all over the world.
Yeah.
Touring is your sort of thing. I want to ask you, so I'm only on my sort of 4th or 5th tour. It's the come down from it, the back to normality. You've got a great way of coming back to, not normality, but back into the world that we're all in.
I'll get off stage, kettle goes on. Got to have a little warm drink. I become Bev again by running a bath.
Right.
And having my little drink. And I find I do that and I feel completely relaxed. And then I can go to bed. I can actually sleep properly. Otherwise, you're too hyped, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well...
You've still got all the energy from the gig. You need to...
Now I know, you see. Make yourself a cup of tea, you see. That's the problem with me. I go out and look for I was going to say doner kebab house. That's true.
Right, so you're in a bar with a doner kebab and a can of fizzy drink.
That's my world. Yes, this is touring with a chef. You can tour with Beverley Knight, you can tour with a chef.
I think yours sounds a bit better, actually.
Well, it probably does, actually. Anyway, so we're going to make a bit more noise there. We're going to blend this.
Yeah.
So this is all this mixture that we've had. If you blend it, you'll see it goes to this colour. Now, while it's blending and on a full power, that's it. What he's going to do now is going to add, I'm going to pass him a few of the herbs. The shrimp gets turned over.
The smell is gorgeous.
It really is.
Smells beautiful.
But the colour of it comes in the form of what we're about to do now. So the cod is then ready. So what we do now is we take spinach. So what you want to do now is just take spinach, pop that in the machine. Like that. And you can see now we'll start to get this sauce, this green sauce is what we want.
Yeah.
So the spinach goes in. Then we can take our coriander, take basil.
Love.
So good chunk of basil. That's going to go in there as well. Now, the great thing about this is you can make it by the masses. We make loads of this in the restaurant. But you can take some coriander and you want to stick that in as well. So you see now it's actually starting to thicken up. And then you gradually start to get this amazing colour from it as you're doing this. The lime and bits and pieces go at the last minute, but right now we'll just put this on it. I'm going to turn it right up. Happy?
Yep.
So that can go in there. We'll turn it right on full.
Great.
Then take it off. But look at the colour from it.
Magic.
Look at that.
It's amazing.
You get this amazing colour. Now we pass it through a sieve. Probably, yeah, I only want about a little bit of it, so go on.
Right.
Oh, a bit more. I'll hold that.
Go on, you hold it.
I'll hold that.
Got it?
Yeah, go for it. So we pass this through a sieve, but you can smell the flavour
Big
from
time,
it.
yeah.
So the idea is once you get to this stage, if you want to warm it up, you do it for seconds. That's it. That's it. So it's now ready, and we can just take fresh lime. He's there with his fork ready, his spoon ready. Look, he's going to taste this. It's not seasoned yet.
Yeah, a bit of salt, then.
Yeah, it needs salt. A little bit of lime.
Wow, though. Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the lime in it as well would be amazing.
Right, now taste that. Now we've seasoned it up.
I have a
Right,
clean,
guess.
clean spoon.
Chief
No dodgy.
seasoner here.
Chief seasoner. I'm just looking like, OK, when do I get involved in this? Because that looks amazing.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah. Boom.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Can I just say, it's fantastic to be cooking together, because we used to sort of cook from either side of this stage ages ago, thinking, you know, where is this going to end, when it's going to happen, when, you know, what, when, why, and then to still be...
And now
next to
look
each
at
other.
me. I get to pass herbs off for a
But look, you've just got these amazing little bit of... Now, taste a little bit of that, and then what I'm going to do is grab our lovely bit of cod, lift that up. It's just simply cooked. That then sits on there.
Right.
Another bit on there. Another bit on there.
You're in for a treat.
It's good, that, isn't it?
I see that.
Big time.
Little prawn on the top. And then what I've got, just to finish this off, we take some coriander. This is little baby coriander. You can grow this in sort of... Well, you can grow it in the windowsill as well, this sort of stuff. I was going to say grow it while you're on tour, but, you know, no, don't start doing that.
Might be a problem.
But look, you got this. This is this lovely, this chili fronds. We just take these chili fronds, it just makes it look fabulous.
Oh.
So a little bit on the top. And the whole thing, I think, really is all about... It's all about the simplicity of where you cook everything, but it's really about the lovely little bit of sauce. And then you've got this green oil that I make with spring onions that's just blended up. And there we have it. So my version of, well, a nice little bit of roasted fish with a Thai green curry sauce.
That's it.
Gorgeous.
Easy as that.
Gorgeous.
Bon appetit. There we go.
Merci.
There we go. Dipna. Jose, you get to dive into that one.
Yes, my dear
Oh,
friend.
my
Off you go.
God.
Me and you are left with what's in the pan, if that's all right.
I'll take that.
But I have to say, always is the best, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. All right.
Cheers.
I'm going to do that.
That flavour's fantastic, man. Brilliant.
My God. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's super tasty, no?
Uh-huh. This is...
That's
and
yours.
just that lovely kick right at the end.
It's just the great
Right
thing
at
about
the
that is
end.
just you get so much flavour. It's flavour.
Flavour.
And if you are going to make it, you can make it and freeze it. It's OK, but if you are going to make it, whatever you do, don't overheat it once you heat it up. So just bring it to the bottom and then off straight away. Otherwise, it changes the colour totally. Well, that's it. That's all we've got time for today. A massive thank you to all my guests. James, my sous chef over here. Neil and Jackie Maxwell from earlier. Dipna and Anand. Jose and, of course, Beverley Knight. Thank you all. I promise not to ruin the dressing room. I might do. Right, we'll see you back here at the same time next Saturday morning when I'll be joined by Chef Cyrus Toddywaller, Nick Nairn, and Strictly Come Dancing star Anton de Beck will be here. Until then, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.